Hey, I know you're busy scrolling, but can I borrow 60 seconds? Good, because I have a question. Why do they always ask where you see yourself in 5 years, but they never ask you about what you were doing 5 years ago? What about who you were when you were five? Aren't the experiences that molded us more important than something we can't predict? I think so. My name is Nate. Online, I go by Nostalgia Nate, but if you peel back all the superficial titles, you'll see a kid, same as you were. Growing up, renting Yu-Gi-Oh! Pyramid of Light from the local video store, and trying to unlock all the secrets I could in 3D platformers like Crash and Spyro. When we were fortunate enough to have cable, my go-to was Cartoon Network and Boomerang in the early 2000s. Shows like Codename Kids Next Door, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy shaped me. And the moment the sun went down, it was time for Toonami, where we could watch anime like Naruto, Bleach, and Zatch Bell. My minute is pretty much up, but if you gave me 1 minute, maybe I can ask you for a couple more? Thanks.
Is this thing on? Yeah? Ha ha! I'm back, babies!
Let's talk media real quick, because I'm sure that's the first thing that stood out to you when I started talking. I'm someone who was mesmerized by the colors that flooded the TV screens in the 90s and 2000s. We're talking 3D platformers like Mario and Sonic fighting for the limelight, the Power Rangers, of course, and WWE, who was coming out of the Attitude Era. And while many people disliked that change, it was the kind of entertainment that brought my family closer together at the time. Something about that era in general felt so much more saturated than what we have today. I mean, for the love of God, look how they massacred my boy McDonald's. Every single thing about it felt people-focused instead of brand-focused. TV ads and physical magazines such as Game Informer were the lines of the era that us kids colored in until the crayons broke. The Geico commercials alone had me wanting to buy auto insurance at 8 years old. I didn't even have a car at 8 years old. Let that sink in. Not to mention every single toy commercial.
It's here! It's wild! It's sweeping the nation! It's Fushigi!
Oh, Fushigi. What a scam. Not that I could afford much of it anyway.
You are a worthless street rat. You were born a street rat. You'll die a street rat, and only your fleas will mourn you.
Perhaps in the 2000s your family was well off. There's absolutely no shame in that, by the way. But for me personally, and I'm sure many of you can relate, I grew up pretty poor. There's something about that kind of lifestyle, one of poverty, that makes those times as a kid even better. Even if your rose-tinted glasses were cracked, the images were still lovely. In 2006, I turned 7 years old and received my first PlayStation 2. Used. It had to be one of the greatest moments in my entire life. And even though the PlayStation 2 wasn't the newest console out at the time, I couldn't imagine the experiences and friendships I would have missed out on if I hadn't gotten my hands on it. Outside of the house, there were of course the summers of getting lost in the neighborhood, since if we stayed inside we would drive our parents nuts. I remember starting off with a SpongeBob skateboard with plastic trucks that my mom got me from Walmart, and working my way up to a 1,000-pound Walmart bike. Anything to get us out of the house for a while. Even when we wanted to stay inside, Nickelodeon would just pull some shit like Worldwide Day of Play, which, let's be honest, we all just jump ship to Cartoon Network or Disney on that day, but I digress. With what little money we did have, we would often go to the corner store where bags of chips were 99 cents, and Little Debbie snacks and Kool-Aid jammers were 25 cents a piece. We can get a whole incredibly unhealthy lunch for a little bit over $1. Sometimes finding contentment in the things you do have brings that much more satisfaction when you find yourself growing up and earning more.
You know, I'm sad.
We swear that the adults in our lives didn't warn us, but they did. At every turn where we wanted nothing more than to be grown and make our own choices, we didn't realize that the trade-off is that we would start to forget the little things. When you become a teenager, you become obsessed with fitting in or standing out. You start to navigate feelings of love. You start making the changes where a little bit of the younger you starts to chip away. If you were exposed to trauma as I was, then growing up can come really fast, and childhood slips away the moment your focus drifts towards something else. Personally, I feel like one moment I was 13, then 16. Then I blinked and I was serving customers at an Italian restaurant. I blinked again and I finished college during the pandemic. No fanfare, no applause. One more blink and I was thousands of miles away from my hometown and thrust into a new adventure. The adventure became heartbreak and heartbreak became hard work. 2 jobs worth of hard work and 15-hour days. And hard work became right now. My own apartment where I sit in front of a microphone and tell you guys the thing I have been dying to tell you since I started the channel, but just didn't know how to. This is our adventure now. I've shared my side and I'll continue to. And in return, I can't wait to hear your side of the story.